Hey everyone, I'm John from Gunfire Games. I'm the design director here on Darksiders 3.
My name is Richard Vorodi, and I'm one of the designers on the project. We're here to talk about puzzle design in Darksiders 3 and what makes it different. One of the first things you'll see right here is our little buddy, the bomb bug. And what we're trying to do is ease the player into the concept of webbing and fire and propagation and how that works. We've done things a little differently this go around. Instead of having just bombs sitting in the environment, we actually have creatures that will immolate.
Yeah, so this is like anyone who's played Darksiders 1 or 2 should be quite familiar with the bomb throwing mechanic. This is kind of the next evolution of that for us, making it a creature in the world, making it have a little bit more context.
Yeah, so you'll see here, once we've taught the player that the bug will explode after it eats food, then we take away the food. And then we try to add an additional step, but still keeping it very familiar to the player. One of the hardest things to do in puzzle design is try to explain the rules without putting up a giant text box on the screen. And so generally, our approach is just to take baby steps along the way and just try to insinuate what you're supposed to do, just nudge them until they get it.
Yeah, so in this puzzle, this was like an escalation where the player realizes, hey, there's actually two of these webbings in my way, but I can only blow up one at a time with a bomb bug. So the step here is to add 2 bomb bugs to the puzzle.
And it relies on basically the last 2 puzzles as the framework for how to do it. So we're not asking the player to do anything that they haven't done. We're just asking them to now take what they know and then try to add to it and think outside the box a little bit. One of the things that helps make the bomb bug puzzles fun is we have 2 different kinds of webs. We have a white web, which is just, kind of a basic magical spider web, but it burns up, but it doesn't heal itself. The red webbing does heal itself. So what that does is that opens up possibilities like you see in this room here, where you can basically use it as a fuse. So if you imagine a fuse, wherever you light the fuse, the start of that is how much time you have until it reaches its endpoint. So what we do is we set up a room where learning the proper place to light the fuse becomes a necessity to solving it.
In this case, one extra step we've added is the fact that Fury at this point has the flame hollow, and that's why her hair is on fire. So that ends up being a big part of the puzzle as well, as you'll see here in a minute. After throwing the bomb bug, she then has to actually light the fuse herself, as opposed to using the bomb bug, which up to this point, they've only been able to do it that way.
If you think about what the bomb bug is, really, it was a way for Fury to have control of fire when she herself was not equipped to deal that magic herself. So now that she has fire, how can you incorporate something that is naturally explosive along with her new fire abilities? And that's basically what that puzzle is showing.
And in this case, anyone who's played Darksiders 1 will see the callback here, where this might look familiar, the crystal sword from Darksiders 1. This is actually a catacombs area that's fictionally connected to Darksiders 1 catacombs that the players would find under the Twilight Cathedral. That's why you see a lot of the same elements. We thought it would be fun, like kind of a throwback, to go back to this kind of space with the angel statues and the crystal swords. And then we kind of incorporated that in with our fire puzzles and our bomb bug puzzles as well.
This is more of a classic timing puzzle where you've got your pressure plates and you've got your rotating doors. Even though we're trying to keep puzzles, we're trying to use logical puzzles in the franchise now. We still have room to for fun and things like that. Basically, how it works is the closer you get to the fantasy elements of the game, the more fantastic the puzzle elements become. So when you're on the surface of New York, you're going to see way tamer things than you would down here, basically in the center of the earth. And so one of the things that kind of showcases that fun is this giant causeway colossus, and he's unique to this magical area.
as you saw right there, you can also, just like War, use this sword as a weapon until you slot it into the puzzle here.
And also, this is one of the first times that the player encounters a room where multiple pieces of a puzzle come together to basically unlock a door. You can think of this guy as basically just a lock. And so now with his arms stretched out and everything, the player is free to exit the room.